Hey Tubies, this is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with you. Well guys, I am so excited that you're here today. Today we're having our first official video for the Order of the Purple Cord. And you're saying, "Say, Bob, what's the Order of the Purple Cord?" Well, that's my new mystical Wiccan group that I've started. And if you'd like to join the Order of the Purple Cord, go to my video. I'll put the link below to the video. You can learn about it. And also go to my website at www.robert-hickman.com and you can find out about the order. It's free to join. We are teaching from a Wiccan perspective, but you don't have to be a Wiccan to join. Anybody is welcome to come and be part of it. And if you join, you need to go to my website, send me an email to register. And also, you can print out your official certificate. This is our official membership certificate. It's got a beautiful purple cord, which is a symbol of our order. And print that out and frame it. You put it on your altar, and you are officially a member of the order. So anyways, check out the links below. Go to my website. And if you're interested, you might want to consider coming and being part of our scene. Every month we're going to put out a video for members of the group, and I hope that you guys will watch. Today's video happens to be also for the members, and well, it's for everybody really, but specifically for the members. Today's subject is on the magic of the color purple, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. But before we get into that, I have some special announcements that I would like to make. As I started forming the Order of the Purple Cord, I realized for the order to really grow and to do the work that we're going to do in helping people with Wiccan spirituality, I realized that I was going to need some help. So I decided to start a council of elders, and these will be officers of the order who are going to help me do some of the work of the order. The first appointment I made was to a friend of mine named Tony Paulson, and he is known on Instagram as Anthony Lightbringer. And I have decided to make Tony the guardian of the order. And his new position, his title will be Lord Guardian of the Order of the Purple Cord. And in fulfilling his capacity and accepting the position, I have decided to create him an official Wiccan Lord. And so henceforth he will officially hold the title of Lord Tony, Lord Guardian of the Order of the Purple Cord. And Tony's a wonderful person. He's a very gifted, intuitive, very spiritual person, a long-time Wiccan, been practicing most of his life. Very blessed. I love him. He brings a lot of light to the world. He has a YouTube channel whose name I'm forgetting. Tony, maybe you can put your YouTube link below. I'm blanking on your name on YouTube. I know on Instagram you're Anthony Lightbringer, but I don't remember if it's the same on YouTube. I'm blanking. Anyways, let's welcome Lord Tony as our new Lord Guardian. As Lord Guardian, he is in charge of guarding the sacred sword. One of the symbols of our order will be a sacred sword that Tony is in possession of, and this will represent protecting all the members. And whenever we gather for ritual, he will be bringing his sword as a symbol of the unity of the group. So anyways, we'll have more from Lord Tony soon, and but in the meantime, visit his Instagram channel, which is Anthony Lightbringer, and welcome him to the order and congratulate him on his new title and position. Lord Anthony, or Lord Tony, I should say, we welcome you. Thank you for your service. Well, now, also on the Council of Elders, I had somebody who's volunteered to assist as well, and her name is Angela Riddle McAllister, and she is going to be serving as the High Priestess of the Order. Her channel is Rare Wicca Spells here on YouTube, and you may know Angela because I've talked about her as well. She is also the founder and operator of the company RareWiccaSpells.com, which I'm going to encourage you to visit. Lady Angela, like Lord Tony, I've officially made her a Wiccan High Priestess, and she is Lady of the Order with the title of Lady Angela. She will be assisting me in leading rituals and handling order business when I am not available. So, Lady Angela Riddle McAllister, we welcome you. I thank you for your service, and I know everybody here is excited. Her store, RareWiccaSpells.com, is going to be the official supplier of spiritual supplies for the order. And I would encourage all of you to visit her. She's going to be selling a number of different religious items. She has a whole new section beyond spells now of various charms, pendants, sacred items that will be part of our magic workings. And I want you to visit her store at RareWiccaSpells.com. Lady Angela, welcome to the order. I look forward to working with you. Well, guys, now we're going to get into what we're talking about, the magic of the color purple. Many of you have written and said, Psychic Bob, tell me about the purple cord. And, you know, I've got a number of purple cords, as I showed you in my first video. If you're still working on it, you can make your cord out of anything, out of yarn. This is a new one I made. And as you can see, they're different colors. One's a darker purple, one's a lighter purple. But they're beautiful. It doesn't matter which shade of purple you like. Purple's wonderful. Now, you're going to say, Psychic Bob, why the color purple? What's the significance? Well, let me tell you, in the ancient world, purple was a very rare color. It was so rare, in fact, that it was regulated by law. In the ancient Roman times, the only people that could wear purple were the emperor and his immediate family. And if you were caught wearing purple without authorization, you could actually be arrested and fined. Purple was considered the color of princes, the color of royalty. And, you know, as many of you know, I also hold a title as Prince of Snowdon. That is a title of nobility that I actually own. And I thought, as a prince, purple is the color of princes. And I wanted to extend the use of the color purple to all the members of the order. So hence, the purple cord is a sacred color that binds us. Now, because purple was so rare, it was considered almost mystical and magical. And to have purple cloth, if you even got a little scrap in those days, it was a treasure. And magic workers, I can imagine, treasured purple cloth. And so, well, why is purple such a big deal? Well, let me tell you. Now, purple, interestingly, is really a very modern color. As far as us being able to have, like, cloaks of purple, like this cloak, you know, or these cords with purple. Purple was very rare. In fact, well, let me get something here for you. Just so you know, now, purple, why it was so rare is the only way they could make purple dye was from the secretion of snails. There was a certain mollusk, a snail, that would leave a slime. Maybe you've probably seen a slug leave a slime trail. Well, there were certain snails in the Mediterranean, these mollusks, who would leave a trail of slime. And when they would scrape the slime up, and they would, you know, realize in a few days it would turn purple. So it was the only source they had ever found to make this color. So they would literally take scrapings of snails, put them in a vat, and then dry them, and it would make purple dye. Now, just to give you an idea of how hard it was to make purple dye, here's the size of kind of an average handkerchief, you know, about 12, 16 inches square, like a men's pocket square. To dye a piece of fabric this size took 12,000 snails. And what they would do is they'd have a giant vat. They would put 12,000 snails in it and collect the secretions. 12,000 snails would produce approximately 1¼ ounces of this dye. And what they would do is they would take the secretions and then they would put it in the sun to dry. It would become like a powdery substance, and they would grind it up. And then they would let it sit exposed to the air and to the sun. And it took about 3 or 4 weeks because the secretions, the dried secretions, would change color. They would go from clear to yellow to green, and then they would turn to like a bluish color and then a purple. Purple being the fine result. And then it would go into various shades of purple. So it would take 3, 4 weeks just to get to stage of beginning of purple. So you can imagine when they actually finished collecting enough dye, they could only dye with all of that effort a piece of cloth about that big. Okay, so literally the value of purple dye was, when you weighed it out ounce per ounce, was actually more costly than gold. And so if you would see like an emperor wrapped in purple robes, like a piece like this size, can you imagine the expense? It was literally like wearing liquid gold. Purple was actually even more costly than gold. So hence the royal families were the only ones who could afford to produce it, and they made it basically the color of royalty. And this is how purple became so prized. Now, as I said, in the ancient world, you couldn't even wear it. If you found a piece of purple cloth somewhere and you started wearing it, you could actually be arrested for it. It had to be turned over to the government. It was that valuable. So isn't that interesting? Now, everybody today says, well, Bob, I buy purple clothes. I have a whole closet full. But do you know modern day purple dye didn't actually start till the 1800s. It was during the Victorian era, I believe around the 1840s to the 1860s. I can't remember the exact date. It's escaping me. That there was a scientist who found out how to synthetically make purple dye. But the problem was the dye that he made was a pale purple, closer to like a mauve or a dusty rose. And so rich royal purple was still, even into much more modern times, very rare. So these rich purples like we see in these cords were still very rare, even into the Victorian times. And just to show you, I love the color purple. This is one of my favorite pieces of fabric. This is crushed velvet and rich royal purple dyed. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. I have a big, it's probably about 5 feet long of this, as you can see. Back in the Roman days, this would have been literally like worth its weight in gold. It would have been thousands and thousands of dollars. So today we take it for granted, but the color purple was very precious and actually is a very much more modern color that we can actually have it. If the ancients of the olden days saw this, they would literally die. It was like heaven. Like, who could afford this rich purple? The ancient purple dyes also were known for their luster. As they would wear, interestingly, like this fabric, they would take on a sheen and a glow. The dye never really faded. It just would become more lustrous. And this was also what made it a prized and valuable dyeing agents. It made the fabrics literally luminescent and glow in rich purple. So when you saw an emperor, you could see his purple glowing from a long distance away, and you knew it was somebody important. So anyways, that's one of my purple pieces, and I also have another shawl here that's got pentagrams in purple, and I love this color. So I encourage you guys as members of the order to consider picking up some purple things for your altar if you like to, or and you can wear that as part of your order. So we have our purple cords. In the old days, these cords would have been worth a fortune. They'd been like gold chains, literally. So, I want you to remember that purple, we shouldn't take it for granted, because it was not always so easily afforded. And even into modern times, within the last 100 years, it was still very rare and very valuable. So we should be very thankful that we have access to rich royal purple and enjoy it. In fact, interestingly, there's a term you may have heard called born to the purple. And what that was is the birthing chambers of the ancient Roman emperors. They had a birthing room where their wives would have children, and the room was decorated. The bed and the walls were hung all in purple silk. And so that was like you were born to the purple, meant you were born in the palace. And only emperors could be born in the purple room. So very fascinating. Now, in terms of magic, purple is also a very powerful color. It's a combination of the colors red and blue. And red and blue are both high-frequency colors. Red is like power, protection, energy, fire, and blue is like water. So it's almost like water and fire combined and they create a new element, which is purple. And so purple carries the energy of both of those. It can be soothing as well as energizing. And it's an interesting color because in terms of magical spells, purple is used for protection. So if you start to feel afraid or you need to raise power around yourself, visualize purple light surrounding you. This is one easy and accessible way to incorporate that into your magic practices. The other thing that you can do is burn purple candles. Now, I actually, believe it or not, I'm out of all my purple candles. I've got to get some more. So they're sometimes even they're a little hard to find. But purple candles are a wonderful way to raise power for protection. Purple is also a good color for those of you who are working on enhancing spirituality. If you've been feeling maybe a little down in the dumps, a little out of touch, a little disconnected with your magical self, burning purple candles will raise that spirit power. Purple is also the color of the crown chakra, and this is the chakra, the energy center at the top of the head that opens, that connects to the higher universe, to divinity. So you may want to, meditate also on your crown chakra. You can either open that and send it out or pull it down into you. So purple has a lot of power. Interestingly, I also have here, some of you have seen this is a purple wand that I have, and it's a glitter wand, all in purple. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And it just really sparkles. I don't know if you guys can see that. But this is one of my beautiful purple things I keep on my altar. And in a future video, we're going to show, when I get my tripod fixed, my camera tripod broke, I set up an altar for the Order of the Purple Cord, which I'm going to film for all of you and show you how I incorporate purple elements into my altar of the purple cord. So you guys might want to think about, incorporating that color more into your lives. Purple's wonderful because, as I said, with that red and blue element, it's stimulating but not overstimulating. It has a calming effect. So it's an interesting color because it can literally lift you or it can calm you depending on what you need. So purple is magical. I invite all of you to do more exploration. Look for purple cloth. If you see it, buy it. You can go to fabric stores and buy remnants of it. This purple velvet I got on sale, which I think is just incredible. I got about 2 yards of it here. But you might want to get some. You can, even wear it as part of your robes, or put it on your altar. But bring that color into your world. Explore it, experiment with it. You could also wear purple gemstones such as amethyst. And I think we should do a whole video on amethyst. Because as I forgot to mention earlier, that's also one of the signs. That's going to be the official gemstone of the Order of the Purple Cord, which is amethyst. So you see, we've got a lot of options here, a lot of ways we can incorporate this beautiful color into our world and into our work. So you might want to think about purple as taking on as one of your magical colors, and really you should value it because who knows, maybe purple could become rare again and it'll be hard to get. We should enjoy it while we have it because for thousands of years, it was so rare. Now we can just go buy anything in purple, but we should never take it for granted because you never know. The world market could change, dyes could change, and suddenly it become a rare, valuable thing again. And in honor of the tradition of its rarity, I think we should treasure it anyways. Well, guys, listen, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming to listen to this and consider the things I'm sharing. I hope that you will really stop and think, I'm going to rate myself in this book. I really like it. I think you should really think about joining, the Order of the Purple Cord if you haven't. Make sure to get your membership certificate at my website, which is linked below. And I would love to hear from you. And if you've made a purple cord, maybe you could do a video or send me a picture of it. I'd sure love to see it. And if you want to send it to me, you can send it to me at Instagram, or you can send it to me at my email, which is readings@robert-hickman.com. So share with me your experiences with purple, with your purple cord. Listen, put comments in the box below. Tell me about your experiences. I'd sure love to hear about it. As you're developing your robes and your cord and your altar, share it. Let's all share it with each other. And I'm working, as I said, on getting conference calls set up so we can all have a meetup online. And eventually it'll be video conferencing as well. But we're getting there little by little. So thank you for being here. Also, let us remember to thank Lord Tony Paulson, who is now Lord Guardian of the Order, and Lady Angela McAllister, who is also serving on the council as High Priestess. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad you're with us. Thank you to all of you who are joining. And let's keep watching, and we'll be having more in the coming days. Blessings to you all. Thanks for being here.